Moving on for now to the latest coming in an unprecedented move, the leaders of 11 of Pakistan's top opposition parties have joined forces to seek Imran Khan's resignation and end the role of the military in the country's politics. Pakistan's opposition parties, under the banner of the Pakistan Democratic Movement, will hold their first combined rally against the Imran Khan-led government on the 16th of October in Gujranwala. Meanwhile, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that the federal government will not create any hindrances in the opposition's upcoming rallies. Imran Khan has criticized the anti-government movement. He has called the joint opposition a gang of dacoits who have started an anti-government campaign just to hide the corruption, adding that the public would see the opposition's show of power itself. On the other hand, the opposition parties have objected to the Prime Minister's statement of allowing them to hold the gathering. They have said that they do not require the government's permission to hold the rally. Pakistan's two main opposition parties, the Pakistan People's Party and the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, have also been openly criticizing the role of the military in Pakistan politics. In a rare public appearance, Maryam Nawaz, the vice president of the opposition party PMLN, will also address the grand anti-government rally in Karachi on the 18th of October. Not just that, Pakistani dissidents have also blamed the military for the country's multiple crises. They have termed the Imran Khan government and Imran Khan in particular as a military puppet. Prominent Pakistani dissidents, including former and current members of parliament, have blamed the Pakistan army for the country's fragility, insecurity, and the inability to get along with its neighbours. Imran Khan is facing a multi-front battle. Pakistan's economy is tanking, the country is staring at an FATF blacklist, and the Prime Minister faces a united opposition. The massive backlash of the Imran Khan-led government started with former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's allegations, wherein he exposed the military establishment's complete interference in the democratic process and procedures. He alleged the presence of a parallel government that was more powerful than the democratically elected government. The PMLN leader has also alleged that the military was responsible for bringing Imran Khan to power. And we earlier spoke to senior journalist Ahmed Shaheen for more on all of these developments. Take a listen in.
It's happened before in Pakistan as well, when the military itself came into power and exiled all the political parties. The enemies, the traditional enemy political parties, they joined forces and they agreed to start a movement for the restoration of democracy, MRD. And it was only afterwards that the military establishment started throwing some bones to the politicians within that movement for restoration of democracy, that some rifts were created and a joint government that formed as a result of the previous collaboration between rival political parties was disturbed. And then obviously judiciary kicked in and history was repeated. As it seems it may be repeated now. The way they're dealing with how the PDM, the newly formed opposition alliance, how they are not going to allow them the same level of the even playing field is the same that they did in the last elections and the one before that. Before that, they were using terrorism as an excuse of not allowing them for public gatherings. This time, they're trying to use coronavirus as an excuse for not allowing them to go out and into public gatherings. And the uncertainty of not giving them a permission for public gatherings, saying that, okay, you're allowed to do it, and then 5 or 6 of their ministers saying you're not allowed to do it, you shouldn't do it, also causes some disharmony amongst the organizers of such gatherings. I remember it was only Imran Khan and his allies who were allowed in the previous elections to do their public gatherings, and the other political parties, their main leaders were arrested or some of them were killed by terrorists, and the terrorists were issuing very specific threats to enemies of Imran Khan, and Imran Khan was allowed to go as far as Swat during his gatherings. So terrorism, instead of terrorism, they're using coronavirus as the reason. Of course, there's also a resurgence of coronavirus in Pakistan, as the second wave is already trying to hit Pakistan.